Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Excited. We are here with a topic session with Miss Arva Thomas, awesome lady, your executive presence coach for our topic session today. And so first, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to do topic sessions with me. I think it's been a blessing. It's great knowledge that we're imparting into the listeners, followers, and getting some good feedback from it. And so first, if you don't mind, just tell them a little bit about who you are and what it is you do, and then we'll dive into our topic.
Okay, great. Well, I am an executive presence and communications coach with Monarch Communications, which is the consultancy that I started in order to help people get to where they want to be in their career. So people who are subject matter experts, who are emerging executives and leaders who need that extra push to get that next promotion and then ultimately climb to the status that they want to be within their career. So that's what I do with my leadership coaching and executive presence coaching, communications coaching. But also, I am also a corporate trainer. And I think that's important to note because as a corporate trainer, and even just sort of how I come out the world, like how I show up in the world, I should say, is really from a place of wanting things to be clear and wanting them to be understandable. Because when you have a clear roadmap, then you know what to do. When things are clear, you can also look for those better ways to do things. Sometimes it becomes much more readily apparent once you understand what the process is, once you understand the audience, once you understand the person, once you understand the system, whatever it is. It becomes easier for you to find a better way to do things. And when you find that better way and you share it with other people, then you become the trusted source. You become the person who can provide solutions for them, even solutions for yourself as well, when you look at the world through that lens. So that is how I show up in the world. And that is what I bring to my coaching with executive presence. So that is a little bit about me.
That's awesome.
And I'll turn it back over to you, Chip.
Yeah, thank you. And it's also when you can find clarity and know what you're about, because I believe that puts you in alignment with your assignment.
Yes. Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Come on.
You gonna be preaching now today?
Come on, take them to church.
That's right.
Let's go. Well, our topic today that we're going to touch on is your presence, and presence is so important. It's important to be present in everything you're doing, and so if you don't mind, just share with some of the things you have as far as having that presence.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll start with a basic definition of executive presence. A lot of times it is difficult for people to articulate what it is, but when they see it, they know it immediately. So a basic definition for executive presence is a set of soft skills that is going to inform how you communicate with people. It informs how you show results, how you get results. It includes those interpersonal skills, which are so important. I mean, everything in life is about people, right? How many times have you heard a person say, "Oh, things would be great if it just wasn't for these people"? Well, we can find a way, a better way, if you will, to be in harmony with folks and meet them at their level. That is one of the hallmarks of executive presence. Also, with executive presence, it's going to be those things like remaining cool and calm under pressure. That's huge, huge for executive presence because you diminish yourself and you damage the mission when you fly off the handle. So it's best to remain calm, look at the situation for what it is, and then figure out what is my next step? What can be done better? What did I not handle so well previously? And how can we overcome that? That's part of executive presence as well. And then also, one of the things, and this one is also near and dear to my heart, because as I said, I'm a corporate trainer,
Yes.
presentation skills, very, very big. That is the thing that people really notice the most when it comes to executive presence. They will hear someone speak and they're like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what it is about him or her. But there's just something about them. When you hone your presentation skills, usually it comes across for other people. They receive that as, oh, this person has such charisma and such passion and fire for what it is that they're talking about and what it is that they do. That is a learned skill. Mm-hmm. Now, what you said earlier too, Chip, about being in alignment with your assignment, you can have that passion and that charisma and all of that when you are in alignment with your assignment. What does that mean in terms of executive presence? I love to work with people on finding their professional why within the company or the organization. What is that thing that can be your soapbox, if you will? That thing that is like, oh, I am really fired up about a new way of doing X, or I'm really fired up about this particular subset of, I'm going to say, marketing, just as an example. Or I'm fired up about this particular subset of helping new teachers to succeed in the education world, because that's where I come from. I don't know if you remember from the last one, but I talked about coming from a long line of teachers.
Yes.
So finding that thing that you can be excited about and passionate about, but that also is in alignment with the mission, the vision, and the goals of the organization. When those two things line up, watch out. Watch out. That is what is going to give you that extra edge as well when it comes to executive presence. It's not just about all of those internal things that you're looking at. You need to be self-aware. Because being self-aware, you will know your triggers. Say, know thyself. You definitely need to know thyself. Definitely need to know thyself. Know when to walk away from the conversation. Know when to say, I can't give you an answer right now. Give me a few minutes to think about it or look at the data, and then I'll get back with you. It's about being able to make those bold decisions with the information that you have. And if you need more information, asking for it. It's about, and a lot of this is, these skills that I'm talking about. But then I think the other piece to executive presence that, again, maybe a lot of people think about is, oh, well, it's how you carry yourself and how you look. I'm talking about like your dress, your style, those things. Those things are important, but what's more important is that interior work. Because when you get the interior work done of executive presence, which is those skills that you learning about yourself, learning about others, learning your communication style and others, when to say what or how to say what. Those things, once you get all that in alignment, then you want the outside to reflect the inside. And what do you have inside? Once you master these skills, you have confidence. And the confidence will show in how you carry yourself, how you walk, everything about you, how you speak, the passion with which you speak, the authority with which you speak as well. You want all of that to line up with what's on the outside. So that's just like a little bit about many of the things that are encompassed within executive presence. And, now that I've sort of given a very broad definition, because it is so broad, I want to paint the picture for why it's so important. There was actually a study that was done of 400 CEOs. And in that survey, they were asked, what does it take for people to be able to make it up the career ladder? 78% of those 400 CEOs said that if you do not have executive presence, it is going to hold you back. There was another study that said that for executive presence skills, those skills are ranked number 2 in a list of the top 20 leadership traits that make a difference. And then there was a third study that said that leadership presence, which is also can be synonymous with executive presence, this accounts for 26% of what it takes to get a promotion at work. So why do we care about executive presence? Because it is a primary key to getting to where you want to be.
I love it. Yeah, so many valuable gems you dropped. I love the data. It's so important. Your presence, so many great things that you hit on. I love how you approached it, and I love the internal piece that you talked about too.
Yeah.
But I have a couple points. I think when you're looking at presence, I believe that your presence is the present, right? And what I mean by that, it's important to be in the moment when you're present, and like all of those things that you talked about that executives are looking for, making the eye contact, giving effort, showing that you care,
Right.
being early and not on time, all of
Amen.
those things, all
preach,
of those,
Chip, preach.
Yeah, come on, all of those things that show that you are present and in the moment. It is a present, and what happens from that is, I believe that you get opportunities from that because people like to have those types of people on their teams. And what happens is, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We're all just striving to do the best that we can with what we have. But when we get the reps at being present, it allows us to sharpen our skills, right? It allows us to see how, oh, I did this pretty good. Let's keep doing this. Oh, exactly. I need more work on this. I have to put myself around people that can teach me to be better on this, right? I think it allows us to hone our skills so that we're better. And then, like I mentioned earlier, it allows us to be in alignment with our assignment. And so it allows us to put ourselves in situations, in spaces that it's not work for us.
Right.
It puts us in
Right.
spaces where we absolutely love what we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that it exudes from us, right? Just like you talked about the internal piece, and I believe in internal, external, everlasting. If you look at it like a bullseye chart,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
circles, the innermost part, to me, the bullseye is that internal, right? And so you
Exactly.
really have to work on being the best version of yourself so that can uh, spread out to be external. And when you do that, everybody around you, gets the vibe, the feel,
Mm-hmm.
the juices from you, right?
Yeah.
The external. But then when you're striving to be present each moment of each day, sometimes we get caught up in doing that. But what we don't realize is that being present each moment of every day, yes, internal, yes, external, but it becomes everlasting,
Mm-hmm.
because now all of those things that you've done on a day-to-day basis, people see that, and it
Right.
teaches them something, it teaches you something, and now that's passed on from generation to generation.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Chip. And listening to you and just now also brought to mind again one of the things that makes people successful is the ability to listen.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
really, really listening, that active listening, listening for what is said, listening for what is not said,
Mm-hmm.
asking those questions as well. Um, I think that that whole thing about being present and being in the moment,
Yeah.
so very important. And you can't do that if you're not listening, because you will only be thinking about, okay, so all right, so they said blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. Okay, I want to make sure that I say this as soon
Yes.
as they take a breath. No, that's not communicating.
I
You're
love
talking, you know, at each other
some.
rather than
Yes.
really listening for what the need is,
Mm-hmm.
listening to understand what the person is saying, where the person is coming from. Everyone wants to be understood.
Yes.
Everyone wants to be understood. And listening is definitely one of those things that you can only do if you stay in the present moment. Stay in the present moment and listen. One of the other things that typically I think about, and I sort of touched on it already, which was when we were talking about being in alignment with your assignment
Yes.
and matching that thing that you can champion, that thing that you can be excited about, but also making sure that it aligns with the mission and the vision and the goals of the organization.
Yes.
That is the thing that is going to help you stand apart or stand out and get that visibility. Why? Because you can be solving a problem. You can be, increasing, say, for example, customer satisfaction, client satisfaction. Going back to the example that I used in education about uh, being someone who is very passionate about helping first year teachers to succeed. Those
Mm-hmm.
first 3 years, especially the first year, is the toughest as a new teacher. Pairing someone with a mentor, for example, having a program to support new teachers. I mean, especially in this current day and age, even more
Yes.
so than before. And it was really necessary before the pandemic hit. And now it is crucial. Why? Because you see teachers retiring left and right, left and right. And so, if you can find a need and fill it, a need that speaks to you and your passion, and that is also going to help others and it's going to serve others.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. What you are doing with that executive presence, which leads to that visibility, those problems that you solve, those presentations that you stand out with, those communication skills, those interpersonal skills, all of that helps you to gain visibility. It gives you more influence. Why? Because it's not just about you. It's about others.
Yes.
And, in your company, it may end up being about the bottom line, but, what does the bottom line really serve? If you're not serving people, if you're not serving a purpose, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. So that visibility and that influence, that is what leads to those possibilities and those opportunities and those promotions at work. So much is encompassed in that executive presence. And it's more than just about you. In fact, a lot of times it's not about you. It is just about getting into a position where you can help others.
And that's what it's all
That's
about.
the real deal.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gem right there.
Yep.
That's the gem. Well, in closing, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love with all of the amazing things you have going on.
Thank you. Absolutely. You can find me on my website, which is bluemonarchspeaks.com. That's bluemonarchspeaks.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn under my name, which is Arva Thomas. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, both at Blue Monarch Speaks.
Awesome. Well, again, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me with this topic session and your executive presence. Again, lots of great nuggets dropped that I think that one can take and apply in their life to help them be successful and achieve the greatness that they want to get to in their life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chip.
All right. And thank you guys for checking out this session. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Don't forget, go get it.
Hey, go get it. I love it. You got to do that. Go get it, yes. Baby. All right. Take care. Go get it.